Alright, so today we're going to look at a computer I bought about a month and a half ago. It's a late 2012 21.5-inch iMac, the very first of the thin breed. This thing was $150 and I might have paid a little more than I should have. It has some substantial cracking in the screen. As you can see, it starts here, goes all the way up here, all the way up there. I bought it thinking it would be an easy screen fix. The only research I did was I looked up how to change it, and it's not an easy process, but it's one that I could definitely do. The issue is, most of these replacement LCDs, because they're laminated to the glass, cost about $250 plus shipping, which can be anywhere between $60 to $80 Canadian. So all in all, you're looking at about $250 to like $320, $330 Canadian to get just a replacement screen, and I paid $150 for the actual unit. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm just going to clean it up, restore the operating system, and then just use it like a shop computer. So I'll just keep it in the corner of my desk, whether I'm painting Warhammer models with an airbrush or just simply roughhousing with computer parts. This thing will be in the corner. It's the expendable computer. I don't even really know what the stats are on this thing. The reason that I don't know is because the original owner did not give me the password to log in and did not reinstall the OS or anything like that. Here we have a admin locked 21.5-inch late 2012 iMac, and we'll see what it can do. We just have to get it working first. And definitely cleaned up. It is hideous right now. It's covered in thumbprints, and on the back, just your general, get it anywhere dirt. You can call this dollar store dirt. Didn't really come from a dollar store, but that's not important. What's important is you be yourself, because that's what's really cool. So without further ado, let's get this gal cleaned up and see what she's offering. So make sure when you have your paper towel, you fold it in half. Spray some of the decks on there. Decks me up, baby. Give me some of that blue. So as I'm wiping away here, I'm noticing some of these spots I previously thought were dirt may actually be scuffs, but until we use some of the alcohol, we can't really know for sure. Not sure what kind of life this thing had before. Must have been somebody's slave. Alright, so these stains, as you can see here in the light, clearly did not come off from the Windex. At first glance, I don't know what these stains are. Some of you might also feel these look pretty suspect. I don't know what happened to this poor computer, but it's been marked by another animal. Possibly. I'm not saying for sure. It's just pretty ominous. If so, I need to wash my hands because I scraped some of that with my nail. Yeah, so it looks like this stuff is coming off. It's nasty shit. For the most part. Trying to go extra light here on this surface because I don't want little bits of paper towel getting stuck in the glass. Oh yeah, this thing is really dirty. Well, even after that cleaning, this thing still looks pretty dirty. Guess I need to clean it again. Okay, well, here we go, folks. Ghetto iMac, attempt number 1. So far, this has been riveting. Mac utility, yeah, baby. Okay. Okay, well, it won't let me erase this disk. It might have been done already, so we will exit out that and reinstall. Continue. Da 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 da. It came before my mind, with an unreasonable hope of escape, that the outer door of my room was still open to me. I was convinced now, absolutely assured, that Moreau had been vivisecting a human being. Okay, so this was sold to me as a late 2012 iMac, but when I click on About This Mac, what do we have here? It's a late 2013 with the 2.7 gigahertz Intel Core i5, 8 gigabytes of memory, and 1500 megs, or 1.5 gigs of integrated Intel Iris Pro graphics. Right now we are running a 1 terabyte hard drive. So actually I'm quite impressed with this. And you know what? Despite the cracks being massive and terrible, they really don't look all that bad right now. Let's give Counter-Strike a try, shall we? Counter-Strike runs, but it has a massive loading time. I mean, just getting into the game took about 5 minutes. Minecraft looks great, runs nice and crispy. This is a little western town. So yeah, Minecraft runs really quite nicely. And lastly, let's see if we can get StarCraft 2 running. StarCraft 2 seems to run pretty well. So far this thing has proven to take ages to open anything, but once it's open and running, it seems to run fine for the most part. Counter-Strike was a little choppy. Minecraft runs great, StarCraft 2 runs great, so I have no complaints so far. Alright. Oh no! The death rays! Why, this game is classic. Alright, well that's enough of that. Surprisingly laggy. Alright, so that's it. We're going to call this a wrap on the late 2013 21.5-inch iMac. I originally bought this thing for $150 under the impression it was a late 2012. I assumed it came with the GeForce 640M graphics card, which was only a 512 meg card. Turns out this is a year newer than the ones that came with that card, and it has 1.5 gigs of VRAM, though it is integrated. You can barely notice the massive cracks in it, and I'm not being sarcastic. From most angles, when you actually are using this thing, they're not even noticeable. All in all, for 150 bucks, I'm super satisfied with this. While I was playing games, I think the only thing I really noticed was the massive load times. Like, it took a very long time to just even get into a Counter-Strike game. Minecraft ran really well, and StarCraft 2 ran pretty well once you got in. Oddly enough, I think the one that ran the worst was SimCity 2000, but that is running on DOSBox. Another thing I also wanted to point out too is that my facial hair is looking terrible right now. Since we're in isolation, I don't have to go into the office every day, I'm just working from home. Figured what better time to try and grow a beard. So here we are at 2 weeks of growth. I have kind of like a little high school tease going on here. Like, I'd be the kind of kid in class who says "milady," you know, that kind of amount of facial hair. Of course, I'm a gentleman, but really, I mean, not everyone loves "milady." Because this iMac has so much character and a decent amount of power, but all these big cracks all over the front of the screen, I think we're going to call this one Scarface. I don't think this is the last you've seen of Scarface either, so, and that's it. So you don't like it? Why'd you watch this far? If you do like it, please like and subscribe. That would go a long way towards something. So without further ado, I am the Canadian computer collector, also known as the New Cool, signing off and asking you, if you're the person who's always yelling in my back lane, please stop.